Hey, Summoners, welcome on back to the GPL recap. Saigon Jokers and Type A Assassins coming up next. The big two. Two of the big three coming from GPL, SGS being the other part of that triad. And the Jokers, they did surprise a lot of us coming into the World Champs going into Season 2, the fact that they actually made it. And there's a lot of skill in this team, and of course there was also the off-season. They had a lot of time to do some work, improve upon themselves, and we'll see how they've developed since as they go up against the Type A Assassins.
Yeah, it should be pretty interesting. The Type A Assassins, though, are just incredibly dominant.
Yeah.
They've taken a lot of lessons from their team. We saw a match before TPA versus MLE. They crushed MLE. I mean, Saigon Jokers is definitely a step above. They're going to provide them with a challenge here. But one of the interesting things is Toys. He's expanded his champion pool some. That was one of the major weaknesses for TPA. Is when you can't get him off one of those frontline champions. He was playing Kale against MLE and dominated. Nidalee on Stanley, still crushing. He's just very strong in that top lane. We'll kind of see what's going to happen in this game.
Yep. So, and also, if you haven't been keeping up with what's going on in some of the Asian scene, there's also been some roster changes on the Assassins too, and you're going to be seeing Dinter here over on support for TPA.
Yeah, so Mistake leaving the team, kind of a lot of stuff going into that, but helping form the Type A Snipers. So Mistake has left and Dinter's come in. Dinter looked pretty strong, but again, they haven't really been challenged in that bot lane. And Twitch and Sona, that's an really tough lane. So I mean, not tough as in like it's a lot of damage. It's a very strong lane. So it's going to be hard to say that Ezreal and Nunu is really going to challenge that lane.
Nice notion from Nixwater. Very well-placed trap. Type A Assassins being caught out over on the side in that one brush over by their red, expecting the invade.
Yeah, so they will back off. We'll see what the Jokers can do. Their team is really interesting, though. We saw Nixwater playing that Nidalee earlier, that split push Nidalee, and we'll see what he can do. He actually does get the bottle this time, so I was kind of surprised he didn't the previous time. Or, no, I guess he must have. I'm thinking of a different match. But so Nixwater, he had a really good split push Nidalee going, but Kale being picked up from QTV, so not allowing Toys to have that Kale. I'm guessing they picked it up to prevent Toys from getting it. Toys, he goes with that TF. It's very aggressive. But one of the concerns is for the Jokers right now is going to be that they have enough damage to take down TPA, because they don't have a lot of damage. Ezreal, as a champion, he's very safe early on in the game, but his damage output isn't as significant as some of the other ADs. Nunu, as a support, he helps increase Ezreal's damage some, but he doesn't really add that much. It's more of a defensive support. So we'll see where they can go. Twitch and Sona going up top, so it's going to be a 2v1 against Nidalee, and they have a lot of burst damage, and they went for the golems first. So they really have a lot of kill potential, particularly once they hit level 2 and Twitch gets that expunge. They can just insta-kill almost anyone, and Twitch, trying to not show himself, he does show himself now, so Nidalee does know it's that 2v1, did catch Sona in that ward.
Yep, so Bebe out in front. It's a warning to Nixwater. Like, I have poison, I have a lot of damage, I got a buddy over here, she can shoot a lot of harass your way. But it's a good thing that that many Nidalees also maxed out that heal first, so they're going to be using that quite a bit here in top lane.
Well, Nidalee's going to be okay as long as she keeps out of range of Twitch in particular.
Yeah.
Sona is going to do a really nice job of harassing her down, though. Nidalee doesn't have a lot of bursts, so Sona can be extremely aggressive in that lane and not have to worry about any sort of repercussions as long as she keeps vision of the jungle. But QTV in the mid lane, this is one of the interesting matchups in this game, because Kale has so much damage that Kale easily out damages TF. And TF's already pretty squishy. However, TF can get that stun off and try and kite with it. So it's going to be interesting to see what Toys does. And Toys mechanically is arguably the best mid laner in the game. So we'll see what he can do to keep himself alive.
Junie off on the side, looking for the rupture on the Toys, but does not
Good
land.
Positioning.
At the very least, going to scream at you, but will back on off. And I was thinking a little bit about Kale too. Remember that
they're going for that gank. That level 3 gank, it's so common when you have the 2v1 and they're going to try for this quick kill, and Junie's not coming. He's not going to help them. They're in a tough spot to help Nixwater here. He's probably going to go down.
Lil Balls has the perfect sniper spot for a Q onto Nixwater. The moment that Bebe decides to go for the engage, here goes. Little Balls comes out of the tri-brush here in top. has the perfect spot, has a perfect positioning, missing the Q, but does not need to use it. Shield over to Twitch.
He's going to have to flash.
Oh, the turret shot manages to take him out. Those are 2 buffs evaporating into the ether.
Oh, Shen has Junie.
Bot lane, Stanley manages to take out the Cho'Gath underneath his own tower.
Double
Will he
kill.
get safety here? He gets a double. Archie picking up on that, but what has been wasted?
Wow, both lanes kind of mistakes there on their ganks.
It's basically correct how you do it correctly. How you do it incorrectly.
TPA messed up theirs as well. Sona started off tanking it really effectively, but Lee Sin, he didn't hold his Q for after the flash. He could have just slowed and waited for the Nidalee flash.
Yeah.
And that meant they didn't have quick burst damage, and then Lee Sin tanking, he's pretty squishy early on, needed to flash out of there, and he didn't. He realized too late that he was going down and just allowed himself to go down. They do take the turret, though. So keeping up 2 members as opposed to losing 2, it allows them to get the turret, take a quick advantage. Lil Balls being very aggressive against Archie here. There's the Arcane Shift out of there, and with the red buff, Archie's okay. But that red buff on Ezreal is going to be pretty scary since they were able to transfer it. That's one benefit of Cho'Gath dying there. But still very surprising for them to, misjudge how strong Shen can be in that tower dive situation.
Yep. Lil Balls takes a look
Great
at
play
Archie.
by Stanley, though, to turn it around.
Lil Balls takes a look at Archie, is like, I lost my buffs. Have you seen my buffs? You have my buffs. I think I'll take yours. Made a quick attempt, but cannot actually take both of them just yet. But Archie's
They're
still
going for a dive bot once again.
Archie's still sticking around bot, and there's the Shen taunt, getting a little bit of turret damage. Archie brought down to about 250.
They're just going to take it,
yeah. They just want the tower because they know they've already lost their tower in top. In order to keep things even, in order to keep the gold even, they have to take this turret. They have to even the field. Otherwise, that leaves the swap open for the Assassins to come on down and defend this. They cannot let that stand. Jokers take down bot tier 1.
But knowing that Junie's bot allows Lil Balls to be aggressive, he goes for the Wolves, they're going for the second turret, and then Lil Balls, he can go for a gank once again onto Nixwater, and Nixwater doesn't have the flash this time. They're going to go for it. So they want this tier 2 turret, and they maybe want to get a kill on Nixwater.
Bebe and Dinter haven't even
They're going for the dragon, though. So the Jokers are going to be able to pick up the dragon here, so it's a really good exchange for them. As far as gold, as long as Nixwater can live up in this top lane, and it seems he's going to be okay. Little Balls didn't go for that aggressive kill there.
Yeah, as far as goal's concerned, it'll be fine. But as soon as that tier 2 goes down, that leaves the top jungle for the Jokers completely exposed.
He wants the Q.
Wants it, decides to play it safe, goes for the shield onto the wave. He's just going to help push the wave, and all of the Jokers have recalled and are now making a mad dash to the top turret. It will be a 4v3 here in the top lane, but Stanley does have the ultimate available, so in an instant it can be a full 4v4, but Bebe out in front. Rupture does not care if it hits him. That turret is inches from going down. 98 health left on the turret. 1 or 2 more shots can keep it going down, but there is the exhaust. Shen,
TF2.
TF is here. That's a double global for Type A Assassins. Archie takes the ultimate from Kale, but safety off on the side. Scream from Junie, keeping everyone silenced on the Assassins, but it is not going to be enough. TF with a quick kill onto Nunu.
All of a sudden, all 5 members of the Type A Assassins are up top, so let alone that they won that fight, they should be able to push this turret down here. Oh, they're actually transitioned, so they're going to grab the blue, but then everyone's saying for the Jokers, and I'm a little bit surprised. TPA, it seems they might go back. I felt they could just walk up and take that turret. I mean, it's just 2 hits away. I thought that's what they were going to go for, but you see the quick mobility from TPA working out very well for them. They have a 1k lead. Nidalee did go bot, though, so Nixwater putting himself in position for this game. The only concern is Nidalee not very strong early on. Nidalee has good base damage with the Cougar form, but isn't very tanky.
And you have to get Cougar form first.
Right. Nidalee doesn't contribute a lot to early game fights. Nidalee really needs to farm and get those quick levels to split push. And TPA has a very aggressive team. So if Nidalee isn't ready to exchange and isn't ready to duel or tango when TPA is looking for it, then that could really put the Jokers behind, because it's going to be a lot of 4v5s.
I want to put things in perspective. A quick look back at the picks and bans for this match, and TPA being on purple side, they got the first set of 2, and their first 2 picks were Shen and Twisted Fate. This was a double global comp from the get-go, and you saw it worked out immensely well.
And those are some of the strongest champions in the game. I'm assuming that Orianna and Ahri were banned off of toys. So
no.
No?
No.
Neither of them.
Neither.
Oh, so that's interesting. So, yeah, making that conscientious decision. Toy's in a dangerous spot here. Can he avoid the rupture? The quick flash. Really great play.
Has to flash out Lil Balls with a quick shield to help keep him safe. And now Lil Balls is here in mid-show and decides that it may not be the best option to stick around, but does place a ward and retreat. Ward for ward, though, off also to the side brush from the assassins. And Bebe now has a massive wave pushing down bot, which is just he can eat the whole thing and get even bigger. He's got a BF sword. He's got a long sword also. He can freeze the lane too.
He's going to freeze it, which means that Nidalee has to be extremely aggressive in order to get any farm. And Nidalee's already way behind Shen, which means if Nidalee split pushes and Shen decides to counter her split push, then that teleport is really going to hurt them.
Right.
So and Shen's way ahead. So Shen can easily 1v1 against Nidalee right now. But you see, Nixwater, he can't get up to the lane.
Danger doesn't care. He knows Nidalee's there, just wants to get some aggression in. And you know Lil Balls is not too far away either. Lee Sin being very mobile. He's good like that. He can do stuff like that. Toys has he does have the ultimate backup. Stanley's ult is almost back up. Got about half a minute still left on that. And once both of those ults are back up, actually, might as well just use it now. Try and go for a kill on Archie. Flashes away from the teleport entry point. He does have the angle. Toys, can he make it? Stops for a second right outside the brush, and Toys decides to use a gold card on to safety. Might as well use it before you lose it. Archie is ultimate by Kale. Will stay alive just for a few more moments. 100 health left onto the Ezreal wildcard. He barely reaches the Ezreal, does not get there.
Yeah, so they back off, not quite able to pick it up, but it's a safe play from TPA. They don't put themselves in a bad situation there, and they'll be able to continue to push. It is worth noting, though, that TPA does have a couple of level advantages here. So Shen's way ahead of Nidalee, 2 level advantage. They know that Little Ball's ahead of the jungle, mid is ahead as well. So all across the map, some quick advantages, which could turn into good fights for them.
Kick backwards onto Nixwater. Little Balls is caught by the Ruptured Toys with another gold card. Keeps Junie still followed up with a crescendo. Shen ult making its appearance, but decides to cancel it.
Look at that. They just didn't have the damage, and that was something coming into this game that we'd mentioned. And the Jokers, they were able to catch out Little Balls, but Little Balls didn't die, which is the shocking thing. They waited. They had the late Shen ult, the Sun ult, and were able to turn that around. And Toys now just pushing very aggressively in the mid. Not being able to capitalize on these kind of pickoffs is really going to hurt the Jokers. They need to be able to when they get someone out of position, to just pick up a kill, and that's it.
Archie struggling to farm up in top lane. He has to deal with Stanley. Otherwise, you look at Bebe down in the bot lane, and he's being left unchecked. Nixwater, instead of defending the Twitch push, is off in the jungle, trying to catch up, trying to throw spears on the edge of team fights. And that's a worry. That is a huge concern for your Jokers. Your AD is falling behind drastically for the against the enemy AD, and it reflects itself in the gold. It's a short 300 lead now, but you're getting still so much farm on the Bebe down in the bot lane for free, uncontested.
Yep. But it is catching up Nidalee a little bit. I mean, Nidalee's at 30 CS 12 minutes into the game, so it's really a struggle. But we'll see if they can get Nidalee rolling. Then that could really help them a lot.
It's a big if, though.
And he is going for that Warmogs. Warmogs is very cheap, and that's the best thing, is the fact that you can get it so quickly, and then all of a sudden you're a strong champion again.
Right.
But we'll see what they can do. I have to say, though, I've been really impressed with Toys, and the fact that he's been roaming a lot but still keeping up his farm very effectively, and then not allowing himself to get caught out or be harassed down by Kale. He's keeping his positioning very well when he's so squishy, and Kale has decent burst.
Bebe meeting up with QTV in the mid. There's a TFL being used. Can you catch up with the gold card? Is invincible. Nice use of the ult. Still only level 1, though, so it's got a pretty decent cooldown on it. And Toys, the Jokers back in fear of Toys' potential appearance.
Well, Nidalee is split right now. TPA is going to go for this dragon, and it seems that the Jokers are going to try and force this, but Nidalee's very weak, and she's also split.
Shen split away from the rest of the team. Stanley has the shield up inside the brush. Bebe caught up with the Rupture, brought down to about half, but will stealth and be fine. Little Balls with taunts helps take out the Cho'Gath. Nixwater off on the side. Bebe spraying and praying. Lee Sin does go down to the long range damage of Kale. Safety in the brush. Very well done with the Nunu ult. Archie has to use the cleanse and will go down. after that engagement, Toys still damn near full health. How have you been doing so much damage? Because no one cares about you right now, and they are going to pay the price. Stanley still in pursuit, QTV, but the Ignite ticking away.
I think it was the Sunfires actually took down Kale, but the Ignite as well, being used. But
no Sunfire.
It was pretty close. Oh no, I guess it looked like
it does.
It's all vision.
F-Fire. It's all fire.
Nixwater picks up the kill.
Getting caught out.
That's actually a really good fight.
It is
for the Jokers. The fight was, technically won by TPA, but oh man, well, up until there, but Nixwater, just having the Giant's Belt, he actually had enough damage. He was able to jump in and burst down Twitch. It was the Feast plus the Nidalee. They were able to burst down Twitch, and that actually forced Bebe to be pretty defensively. And then TPA just had incredible positioning in that fight. Like, if you watch them cycle around, it was really impressive because they cycled as a whole team. They were all very low, but they were just doing a really good job in that protracted fight. However, Nixwater was able to pick up a couple of kills. So he doesn't have much farm, but those couple of kills are definitely going to allow him to get in this game. The only concern right now, though, is the upgraded items for TPA, because Shen just got that Warmugs. The Jokers were already struggling with damage output to pick people off. They're not going to be able to kill Shen, or very easily. It's going to be very difficult for them. The Lichbane for TF, he's going to be very mobile, so he can kite around more effectively, and the longer TF lives in fights, he's just really strong with that sustained damage and his spammable stun. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Jokers do to combat against TPA's items.
Yep, Archie taking a lot of poison damage.
Oh, he might have
using the ultimate. The poison's still ticking away, though. Is it actually going to be
close?
Oh, wait. Nice. 13 health.
Oh, he forced the Kale ult, though.
Oh, unfortunate.
And the poison was already down, but that was really close. And that's just... Twitch has so much burst damage. That's why I saw him walk up to attack him. I thought he was going to just kill him outright.
13 health.
Yeah, so he lives, but... Kale's ult's down, which means for the next minute that TPA knows they can be aggressive, which is allowing them to push this second turret. It is a short cooldown, though, so they have to watch out for that.
Lil Ball silenced underneath the tier 2 in mid.
Ezreal has him.
Oh, Ezreal gets the kill, but Stanley still shows up. A little bit, like one more second sooner than Ezreal, actually Stanley wouldn't even be there. Yeah, the Jokers could have actually re-engaged.
They stalled, though, and it allowed Nixwater to get a push going on bot, so he's keeping up on farm.
Not for long, though.
Stalling him, so TF is going to prevent him from taking that turret. Nixwater is going to get out of there easily, but the Jokers did a really nice job of holding back on TPA. It's a 4K gold advantage right now, so it's still really dangerous for them. QTV almost going down there. Bebe, if he had hit that slow, he definitely would have picked up that kill.
I don't know what QTV is actually saving up for. He's got 1,400 in the bank, only has Nashor's Tooth. No boots even yet. I'm thinking of like possibilities actually.
He might be going for Rage Blade.
He could be.
1,400 is not that much. Like it means you're just saving up for a big item. You hadn't been back to base yet, so I would probably guess something like a Rage Blade. He could get Warmugs himself, but there's a lot of options.
There's lots of options. We'll see where QTV actually goes when he finally decides to back.
I've also seen some of the active, the Cutlass item that gives you percent health.
Ruined King.
Blade of the Ruined King. Yeah, I've seen some of that on Kale. I would expect it's going to be a Rage Blade, though.
Yeah. It's like one of the few times you actually get to see Rage Blade is often on Kale. Archie tanking the turret straight out, taking the top tier 1 down. Toys dueling with Nixwater in the bot lane. There is the Ignite ticking, but a cleanse actually used to keep the damage away, but it's not going to be enough. Toys, he's got way too many cards in that deck and just spitting them out like a dealer.
Yeah, and Toys actually did a really good job of cycling back and forth between the two bushes.
Yes.
So rather than just dueling Nidalee head-on, Nidalee would actually out-damage TF in that situation. He forced Nidalee to just only be able to use abilities in that Cougar form. So Nidalee would be able to get a pounce, be able to get takedown, that kind of stuff, but not be able to get auto attacks. And because TF kept on losing vision on Nidalee, losing out on those auto attacks is really what did in Nixwater. But really nice play, and he has a lot of damage right now. He has the needlessly large rod as well. I think it's just about right sized, but it's definitely pretty strong. Twitch going invis, but is in a dangerous spot here. Just barely gets invis.
Uses the cleanse in safety, but there's TF ult right in the backline. Archie already used his cleanse, and here's Toys, but doesn't even need the assistance of the gold card. Bebe picks up just fine on his own. Ultimate used on safety, keeps him alive for another second at the very least, and that is too quick for TPA.
Yeah, it's really dangerous for their team. They can't get in on Twitch, and Twitch's damage is insane. So Twitch being able to 1v1 Ezreal in that fight was just really scary. So Archie split off to the side, and Bebe is going to win that matchup 10 times out of 10. So that's a really great positioning for them. They do push up. Toys taking a little bit of damage, but he's able to back out of there. And then they switch from the mid lane down to the bot. So now they're all 5 bot. Nidalee still split pushing, and a couple of members for the Jokers are up, but they're not going to be able to defend this in a 4v5.
Stanley ruptured up Junie with the silence too. Shen the only one from the silence, and that is a tier 3 now down. Naked inhibitor available for the Assassins to take, but they are falling on back, checking the blue. Are they going to go?
I think they're recalling. Yeah,
they're recalling.
So they know that Nidalee had just gotten back. They pick up the turret for free. They're able to bully around the Jokers, and then they don't give the Jokers a time for retaliation. They don't offer them that opportunity because they knew Nidalee was back. Maybe they win a fight, with Nidalee chasing them down, and so they back off easily. The Jokers should be able to grab this turret here, but Stanley's going to be able to walk away, and then TPA will be able to respond by continuing that push and maybe getting 2 inhibitors very soon.
Yeah, this is the right call from the Jokers to get whatever they can. TF ult actually still down. Shen ult up, but he's already here in the fight. Doesn't need to use it except for the shield at the very least. All 5 members of the Jokers now in mid. TF rejoining the fight off onto the side. It's just the Jokers don't know about him quite yet, but that is a dragon up. Toys starting the engage, and seeing as the Jokers have all fallen back, this is a free one for the Assassins.
And you saw that TF, or Shen, he was extremely aggressive there. Stanley was just standing right in the middle of their team, and they couldn't take him down. They hardly put a scratch on him. So he's still a shiny brand new car, and it's just to not be able to deal enough damage to pick people off 1v5, it puts the Jokers in a really difficult situation because it means the fights are going to naturally last a long time in order for the Jokers to win. And the sustained damage for TPA is honestly a little bit better with TF and Twitch. So not being able to pick up quick kills or win those sustained fights, it's really a struggle for them. They can still slow down the game some with that Nidalee split push. That's still what they're going for. Nidalee's starting to catch up, gets that Warmogs, is still very tanky, but we'll see. They really need to just be able to burst down Twitch in that backline, and then maybe they can make something happen in the long sustained fights after that. Yeah,
it's just a huge struggle, and you need the perfect rupture from Cho could start everything off, but that is the big concern here. That's a great huge concern for the Jokers also, is that the front line consists only of Cho'Gath and a Kayle ult if need be.
Well, they're a tanky enough front line. It's getting the initiation, knocking someone up with a rupture, quick rupture, kill Toys, because now they can't force a fight. They don't have that ranged initiation. They don't have someone to dive onto TF, and Shen's just going to slowly split push, take down that inhibitor all by himself. So the Jokers, they really have to just back off. They can't fight this here because they're slowly going to lose their inhibitor.
Toys fishing for a stun onto someone more squishy, but decides to use it on Cho before he loses it. Ward in the side brush, and Nixwater deciding to fall back to try and defend the push, but Stanley is way too much for him to handle, and Stanley could
It's Warmogs versus Warmogs and a Sunfire, so he easily wins that.
Yeah, Stanley can just ignore the Nidalee, go straight for the inhib, but decides to toy around just for a little bit and draw everyone away. The Assassins now have time cleared to take down the bot tier 2 and can continue to push from here. Stanley doubling on back, checking a few things. Is the blue up yet? No, not quite yet. I guess we'll go back to split pushing.
Yeah, so they're actually going to group up. I thought they would continue that split push, but they're rotating a little bit. So by constantly rotating, it pulls the Jokers out of position. They don't necessarily know where to pressure. Quick spear onto Toys gets him down a little bit of health. So that's actually not that bad. Another one onto Little Balls as well.
But he had the shield.
His didn't really affect him that much. But they're all grouping now. So they got down the bot turret. They have all of the outer turrets, and now they're just going for this inhibitor.
Stanley slowed, but that's not going to stop the rest of the Assassins from getting in. Sona ult keeping the Jokers still, forcing out Cleanses Junie. The front line from Jokers has to flash away, and Nunu is left behind. Stanley, still the target of all these slows, will not stop him from taunting. Consume being the feast. Not enough for Cho to grab a kill here. Double kill for the TF. Kayle going down also. Ezreal being chased out of his own base. One blind Mystic Shot happens to get the hit onto Bebe, but Stanley and Toys are easily grabbing this top inhibitor.
Oh, Bebe is still zoning off Ezreal. Ezreal actually Arcane shifts into Bebe, tries to get some quick damage. They're all very low. One spear could actually pick someone up here, but they transition into that mid. Great positioning from TPA.
Wonderful.
And that last fight, it was actually interesting to see. Toys, he comes in, he gets the stun, and then is able to dodge the Cho'Gath ult still. So, just really solid positioning all around from TPA. They're able to clean that up. 2 inhibitors down. The third one is, in a dangerous spot as well. But they should back off now. They're going to buy. They have a lot of gold from their conquests.
3K on TF.
Yeah, so they'll be able to buy probably a Zonia's on TF, but they have a couple of options. They could go for a DFG. It is a DFG.
And
Wow.
another DLCO Harsh Rod.
Wow. Well, DFG just gives him that much more burst potential. And his positioning's already great. And he doesn't need to force a fight where he's in the middle of them. He doesn't need to force a fight where he has to blow his Zonias, because that would kind of be a mistake. So, he goes with the DFG, which is really solid. And it's really dangerous for him, for the Jokers right now. They don't have any potential, for a comeback, because they just didn't have the damage for that pickoff potential.
Bebe picking up a Brutalizer and a Shiv.
And now TF splitting. So they're all going to go top.
Everybody's split push. Everybody's split push. It's no big deal. And Toys should actually get level 16 on that wave too, so the range cooldown going to be going up and down respectively on that. And meanwhile, the rest of TPA, they can... Lee Sin's pushing mid, Shen's pushing top, Sona and Twitch are making sure the Baron is secure, and it's just basically.
Well, I think they're going to go for it too.
It's a huge distraction
they are going
tactic.
for it. Lee Sin just went on it, and I think the big thing is
2-man Baron.
Shen is safer on the split push because he can 1v1 anyone, but TF does a lot more damage. So TF split pushing, he's not going to be able to get back to his team in time, but it puts more of a threat down in that bottom lane, because look at how quickly he takes that. Shen can't take it that quickly, so he's going to get an inhibitor for free before the Jokers even do anything.
And this is why a Lich Bane on TF makes him one of the world's best split pushers, and decides to help seal the deal. May actually teleport into this fight. Toys off onto the side. Quick stun onto QTV, brought down very low. Has no choice, has to use the ultimate. Stucks up one more card before going down. Twitch taking care of Cho. Nixwater has to run away, and Safety trying to find safety in that brush, and once again Archie chased out of his own base. Oh, quick pursuit, gold card, using the cleanse, and the wild card still catch him post flash. Toys, it is a chase. This one's just for a fun kill.
He's got him. There's the kill. No!
Yo, there we go. Yo card.
But the minions pushing down. The Nexus drops very quickly. TPA wins the game, and they are just a really strong team right now.
They've always been.
So we'll see, if anyone can step up to the plate and match up against them. But they really just have a commanding performance in that game.
Fantastic stuff. They're still the current kings of the GPL.
Yeah.
That, of course, pretty much seals it. They are, of course, number one in the rankings. Mm-hmm. It's going to take a lot to try and shove them off of that spot. But, Jokers and Sentinels, though, they are still, for now, number 2, number 3 in the league. And we're seeing a lot of promise from the other teams, too. Titans have severely improved their game. The newcomers still have a few things to work on. It's going to be a good season.
Yeah, it is going to be good. We're looking forward to it. It is Riot's essentially season 3 in that scene. So definitely follow all those teams, guys. Follow the Garena Premier League. It's definitely exciting. We look forward to covering it throughout the season, so we can keep you guys up to date. And that'll be it for today. So thanks for watching, and make sure to tune back for some more IPLLoL coverage.